Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate in my eyes! We are the elite, and you are the weak! No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet! Red alert, this is gonna hurt! When your face is in the dirt, you'll know your death is what I seek! We are the elite, and you are the weak, and I will always...
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone messiah, Philip Antoine, joined by the Canadian destroyer, BT Brandon Tanguma. Brandon, what's going on, man? Another week.
What is up, everyone? Another week, another WWE Premium live event.
Yes.
Backlash. Not
Yeah.
WrestleMania Backlash, not
Pay Backlash?
Pay Backlash. Yeah, whatever other post-WrestleMania pay-per-views they'd have back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. This is it. Here we are.
this is us.
Yes, this is us. People got released from WWE this past week.
Yep, the typical post-WrestleMania releases.
Spring cleaning, as they like to call it.
Yeah, spring cleaning, cleaning out the budget, letting people go to bring people up. So here we go. There's a lot of them. Biggest name in the releases would be Braun Strowman, followed by Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, the underrated Caden Carter, unfortunately, Katana Chance or Casey Catanzaro, and then a ton of NXT names: Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, our boy, Eddie Thorpe, Jakara Jackson, Riley Osborne, Ora Mensa, Javier Bernal, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, Wolfgang, and Danny Palmer, as well as Shotzi not getting her contract renewed.
A lot of names, man. Just off the bat, I mean, Braun Strowman, he had some health issues recently. I mean, he was doing some pretty physical stuff with Bronson Reed and Jacob, so I know that took a toll on his body. We'll see where he lands. Cora Jade, they were actively using her, so that was an interesting one to me to see her being let go. But Elena Black is back, I guess, and we'll see what she can do. I mean, she's what, 24? She has a bright future, man. She'll be back. I give it like, what's it, 2025 right now? By like 2027, she'll be back with the company. I wish she would like. I think like she would have been a great fold for Sol Ruka in Sol Ruka's reign as the NXT Women's North American Champion. I thought that would have been good. Eddie Thorpe, our boy Carl Fredericks, man, love him. I'm forever grateful for all the interviews he did with us back in the day before he went to New Japan and so on. I mean, he could return there. That's always an opportunity. Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll land on his feet. Dakota Kai, I mean, King Coda, come on, man. I was advocating for her to win the women's IC title. I thought she should have. Thought that would have been very fun, but it just didn't happen. Jakara Jackson, actively using her with Lash Legends. I feel like they were finally picking up steam. They were doing stuff in TNA. The Metaphor had disbanded, but those two, they were thick as thieves. I thought some stuff was about to pop off. And of course, the underrated Caden Carter and Katana Chance. Great. The solid tag team in the women's tag team division had been the tag champs. When Caden Carter was on the Indies as Lacey Lane, she was in a group of Bestia 666 and all this other stuff. So they'll be fine. They'll land on their feet. They'll go to TNA. They'll make other appearances elsewhere. Who else was on this list? Shayna Baszler. We saw that one match where she was the APW Women's Champion. You never
Still
know.
APW World Champion,
Yes.
right?
Yes, come on now. Hello. What was it, 8 years ago now? Jesus. She'll be fine. She'll be absolutely fine. Gallus, that was a shocker. I thought those guys could have done some great work, been great muscle for somebody.
Yeah, it could have been like a tag team, especially since like the Raw tag team division doesn't seem to, have too much depth on that side. In total, I mean, there's no like super shocking names. There's maybe some people have like you thought could have been more. Like you said, Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, both people who kind of had like some injury history. So, and they're up there in age. If we're gonna, do the whole thing of who should AEW sign? I think Dakota Kai is somebody to take a look at. Yeah, she's in her late 30s, but I still think there's something there. And like kind of outside of that, I don't really see anyone like maybe Carl Frederick. Carl Fredericks or what was his gimmick name? Eddie Thorpe. He we're not biased here, but I did think he got kind of a bad rap in NXT. He was just kind of like straddled with these like kind of one note gimmicks. He was the DJ, and then he was the Native American, and it's
Well,
like,
I mean, he's indigenous, so I mean, he
well,
was.
no, I'm not saying like, but he was like almost like a Tatanka type, where like you can be a
I don't
indigenous
know.
Native
I mean,
American
did
wrestler.
Tonka ever get a? Did he ever get like a WWE title match? I mean, Eddie Thorpe. I mean, I did like what he was doing, where like he got attacked, and Ava's like, "Oh no, we're gonna give you a title match. We're gonna find out who attacked you." And he's like, "Well, you don't have to find out. I did it myself." Like I thought that was leading to something. Like my guy could have. Like I know he didn't win the title in he was in the triple threat of the Fatal 4-Way. He could have went into a program with Ricky Saints for the North
Yeah.
American Championship, but that could have happened.
Yeah, and Cora Jade, I think, is almost kind of like a showcase on how good the women's division has become in NXT because Cora Jade is like her and Roxy were kind of like the two future, wrestlers for that division. And then
Yes.
she gets hurt, she comes back, and we get this influx of new talent. And unfortunately, Cora Jade never really like got better in ring wise and kind of character wise too. So she just, everyone else just kind of passed her by, and she just kind of stuck in, second or third gear. So I mean, I know she seems like a really big fan. We've seen those photos from like 10, 15 years ago, taking pictures with CM Punk going to WWE shows. But just, sometimes just because you're a fan, you're not destined for big things. But we'll see what happens with Cora Jade.
Dang, what you trying to say, bro? What
I don't know.
you trying to say, Blad?
Not saying anything.
Like I said, bro, she'll be back. She will be back. It's good. It's okay. No, but people always criticize WWE for this. I mean, they have to realize that these people they get paid while they're waiting out the 30 days or 90 days or whatever the contract says, and that gives them enough time to go off and figure out what the next move is, what they're about to do. I mean, Cedric Alexander, you see, he already has dates lined up, and his 90 days aren't up yet. I don't think. Uh, so I saw Matt Cardona said like and shots. Oh my God, Shotzi, yeah, Bay Area zone. Uh, I don't know, just never. I mean, what was the biggest thing she did there? She had like a title match, right? Yeah.
She was like the face of NXT Halloween Havoc. Every
Yes,
year
yes,
she
that.
dress up in a whole different little gimmicks.
No, but I feel like she had like a title match, or she was in like a big moment like that, or something. But yeah, no, just like Matt Cardona said, like you can either like coast off the WWE name, you can either go like self pity or whatever, or you can work as harder than you've ever done and make a name for yourself, and be even more successful than when you were there. So we'll see, man. In 30 to 90 days, we'll see what's going on with all these cats and kittens, and we'll see what's popping off, man. Moving on from the releases from World Wrestling Entertainment. Let's get into it. Booker T is training Travis Scott. So, we're going to see a Harlem sidekick from The Fiend. Fiend! Fiend! Fiend!
I just got that out of my head after WrestleMania weekend. Now it's back in there. I mean, it's not a shock because, Travis Scott, Houston guy. So it makes sense for him to be down there with Booker. Everyone's saying, him and, Cena taking on Cody and Bad Bunny, which would definitely be a huge match
Bad
for outside of
Bunny.
wrestling. But at this point, I mean, Travis Scott doesn't need to like have a full-fledged match, but I think, being able to do some wrestling stuff is probably necessary at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this all leads to. Am I right? That's what it all leads to.
Well, we thought this was going to lead to a Rock appearance at WrestleMania, and that didn't happen. So who knows?
Well, did we even talk about that? That wasn't his intention. He felt it should have been on a big match, John. All the attention.
We talked about the Pat McAfee interview, and I just thought it was very tone depth, and tone death. Easy for me to say, and just like The Rock not living in like the same world that everyone else is living in.
Well, we know he doesn't live in our same world. I mean, he's the most famous man on the planet.
Exactly.
Yeah, Dwayne is doing something else. Dwayne is doing something
He
much
needed to sell tickets for an outdoor event that's never happened before. That was already selling like 30,000 tickets, but apparently the ticket sales were lacking, and he needed to save the day.
What are you talking about?
That's what he said.
Oh, for what you call it?
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. Um, I mean, did we talk about like ticket sales not being that hot back then?
Not really. I mean, yeah, maybe they weren't like 50, 40,000s, but they were selling well over what an arena would hold. And then
Well, yeah, no, they were in a stadium though, right?
he says that, oh yeah, we did this. But then he also said the thing of like, oh, if it was up to me, I would have done things a little bit differently, which then says like, okay, if you wanted to do things a little bit differently, you are kind of involved in this thing. You could have like done something about it if you really wanted to, because you're, the higher ups. You're above Triple H technically, and we all know Triple H and The Rock are not the best of buddies.
Do we know that for sure? Have either of them said that?
I think it seems pretty clear, especially if you go back to 97, 98, when the and if you read The Rock's book, he was not very complimentary, or I don't think he named Shawn Michaels by name. He would just allude to him, but you all know who he was talking about.
Do we?
Yes.
I need them to just flat out say it. I need to
I
know.
think even in The Rock, in the Young Rock show, there was like some sort of jab thrown at Shawn Michaels. I forget exactly what it was, but I remember like that's supposed to be Shawn Michaels, or yeah, good times.
I mean, but Sean's a better guy now, so is he over it? Do you think The Rock is over it or no?
I mean, they can put things aside, but I mean, we've seen Triple H and The Rock together. Have we ever seen Shawn Michaels and The Rock together?
Yes. In that match where The Rock got super kicked by Shawn Michaels. That's the only time I can ever think of seeing them together.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. If Brett can forgive him, then by all means, come on, Dwayne. I mean, I get it. I'm a petty mofo. I understand. Believe you me, I understand. But come on, my guy. We gotta we gotta do better, man. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Power Slap is happening. The UFC what subdivision of combat. Indie stars are going to be on this next season. Indie stars such as the Big Toko, Juicy Finale, the Punjabi Lion Chima, Outlandish, Zicky Dice, Hollywood, Haley J, Casanova, Sanders, and just that's just off the top of the dome. There are more. I know.
I'm gonna say make your money, boo boo, get your exposure and stuff like that. The whole power slap thing is not my deal. I don't really find it entertaining or whatever, but
I mean to compete, would you do it? I mean, it's nice money just to compete.
I mean, I get maybe I don't know how strapped for cash I have to be because we still don't know exactly, concussion wise and everything how what all that leads to. What happens if I get a broken jaw or something? I don't have any dental insurance.
Maybe I assume they take care of that. I'll
I need to see the fine print.
I'll find out some particulars and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see what else we got here. Dun, da, da, da. Osprey thinks he's better than the whole WWE roster. Tell us about this one, my guy.
I was at an interview that he said this. Yeah, he just like came out and he also said like he doesn't really find WWE entertaining. Um, yeah, it's to each his own. Will Ospreay, and he also said he's better than everyone on that roster, which wrestling is subjective. People might say Will Ospreay is the best wrestler on the planet. Some people might say someone else is, Cody Rhodes is the best wrestler because he draws the most money. It's all, subjective. I think in ring wise, Will Ospreay definitely is up there, and the WWE style does not lend to people having the types of matches Will Ospreay will have in AEW and elsewhere.
No, the WWE style lends to you having a longer career.
Exactly. Well, what do you want? It's the whole art, the artist thing with a lot of wrestlers these days. Of like, oh, maybe I can make more money. Like Daniel Bryan, Brian Danielson. He probably could have made a lot of money for years in WWE, but yet he didn't feel creatively fulfilled, so he decided to go to AEW, where he can have his matches and fake seizures and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I mean, I mean, I, I mean, Osprey did this because for us to talk about it. Obviously, I mean,
And this isn't the first time him and Seth got into it a few years ago.
yes, no, I remember. I remember that. I mean, bro, come on, like to say you're better than the whole roster, like what are we doing? What are you doing, guy? Come on, man. Come on. A lot more just goes into this than moves, as he knows. You know, like he's been wrestling a lot over at AEW. I can't remember a particular match. Like, I'm keeping a buck, but
Well, Will Ospreay, Adam Page, a couple weeks should be something special. But
will it?
it probably will be.
3 months from now, will we be talking about it? That's the real question.
I mean, I still remember the Will Ospreay Bryan Danielson match from last year. That was probably the best match of the year.
My favorite Will Ospreay match is the Vader one.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, it's just Will Ospreay trolling a little bit. Not the only time we had a little AEW WWE trolling this week, but you know, and the whole tribalism thing does not help. Which I don't know how much of these wrestlers legitimately play into it or just kind of having fun with the whole thing. But then you get on the internet and then you have people debating it legitimately, and it's like, all right, people, can we just enjoy what you enjoy? Personally, AEW in ring wise, I enjoy it way more than WWE. But you don't see me like boycotting WWE and burying about it. No, it's WWE is completely different thing compared to AEW. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's the tribalism. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you guys, man. Y'all need to get that ish together. Karrion Kross, top 3 merch seller. He's been picking up steam, man. The promo he cut on the Raw recap podcast with Sam Roberts, and then he's been doing his stuff, just a little segments on Raw. Karrion Kross for Money in the Bank. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, he's he picked up steam with that promo, but then they haven't really done too much outside of his little devil on your shoulder promos that he's just been doing the entire year, or pretty much his entire run here.
To get there, you have to be patient.
I mean, I typed in Karrion Kross on the WWE shop. I mean, God bless him, but who's buying these shirts? And who's buying this?
I think it's just it's a flavor. That's kind of flavor of he's popping off. He's getting a reaction. Get a shirt.
Yeah, and what does that exactly mean? Like, is it like a week to week thing? Because yeah, John Cena and Cody and whoever were selling a bunch of T-shirts during WrestleMania, but everyone bought their T-shirts at WrestleMania, and then now Karrion Kross did his little thing, so now people are like, oh, maybe I'll buy a Karrion Kross shirt, and no one else is buying anything else. So I don't read too much into it, but you can buy a Karrion Kross autographed Topps Finest for $37 with a coupon code.
Well, you better get on that then.
Or you can buy a TikTok replica hourglass for $30 with a QR code or whatever this thing is called.
See, the replica hourglass, I can get behind that. I understand that. I like it. Naito's having surgery. Oh no, Tetsuya Naito.
Yeah, I forgot to put this on the list a couple weeks ago, but Naito and New Japan mutually agreed to part ways.
You coming out here with old news?
Well, no. The new news is Naito is undergoing surgery on his eye, which he desperately has been needing forever. And it's almost like they would say that he needed to get that eye once he was done with wrestling. I don't know if that is going to be the case if he gets his surgery and then he's going to be done with wrestling entirely. Also, he's going to get some stem cell treatment on his knee. If you watch Naito these last couple years, his body was breaking down in front of us, and he was not the same guy from 7-8 years ago. It was a little sad to see, but then on the other front of New Japan not capitalizing on that in terms of putting younger talent over Naito. So Naito, got a lot of wins, did a lot of stuff, and then just left the company, which doesn't put New Japan in a great spot right now. But
it's not the same, huh?
Nope. And so he'll probably be on the shelf for, I don't know, eye surgeries wise, but probably for the remainder of the year. if not more.
John Evans and Ricochet going at it on Twitter.
Yeah, started with Ricochet kind of trolling a little bit, saying that he'd squash Javon Evans because he was answering a fan's question, probably about like a match or something. And
What?
then Javon, I think, worked himself into a shoot here, and then just started, going off on Ricochet.
And then what Ricochet say? Like, I was learning from Shawn Michaels when you were 12, and something, and then Javon came back and was like, "Yeah, or no," he said,
He called him a bald brown egghead dude. Yeah.
yeah, he said like, now you wrestle in front of 2,000 people and you work for a crackhead. I was like, okay, here we are.
And
Yes,
then someone aproposly pointed out Javon Evans wrestles in less than 2,000 people crowds and wrestles for a born again crackhead.
well, Shawn Michaels wasn't doing crack.
Well, I mean, you never know. 96, 97 was a crazy time. Sunny days were had.
He may have done a line or two and popped some pills. I don't know if Shawn Michaels was doing crack.
That's
think
more
that
X
was
Pac
going-
in like 2004.
Yeah, I don't think that was going on. I mean, Javon Evans, he wrestles in front of what, 5 or 6,000 people once a month, once every other month. So popping. I get what the dig. You went from wrestling in front of 10,000 people every week to two. I get the dig. Ricochet will be at a Lodi Con this week, so him and X Pac. You just mentioned X Pac. There you go. Boom.
There we are. What a plug. Javon, not the smartest thing. He deleted all these tweets. God forbid something were to happen and he gets released. Tony Khan is a petty guy and he will remember this. And so that kind of definitely cuts out your negotiating power.
Okay, there's TNA. John Evans in the X Division. Go crazy. Stop playing with the kid. I believe we do actually have fan mail this week.
Look at that. Love to see it.
Let me go to this these DMs over here. Jesus Christ. There's a lot happening. In Brightest Day X,
Mr. X.
a Hall of Famer. Really wish AW or any other company would stop with these eliminator matches. The only time I feel you should face the champion is for the championship. Plus, it ruins first time matchups in my eyes. Maybe I'm too old school in my beliefs. I see what he's saying.
Yeah, Tony Storm is doing this thing where she just is kind of wrestling a bunch of non-title matches, and I mean,
is. Well, I have thoughts about AEW because things are happening over there. But Tony Storm, like the character is still over enough to where she doesn't have to wrestle every week on television. You can just make appearances and maybe get a match on Dynamite once a month or something, but like build up the appearances and build up to the big title match. If she's a 40s wrestler, be old school with it.
Yeah, she's wrestling all these eliminator matches, and for the most part, they're kind of people you expect her to beat, and they're not like legitimate like title contenders, because they're like a lot of them are like some people outside from Japan and like the Penelope Ford types. She did have that 4-way match who had like Thunder Rosa and some other people who might challenge her, but clearly it seems as though they're building a Mercedes Moné Tony Storm match at All In. So I don't know what she's gonna do at Double or Nothing in a couple weeks. If it's gonna be a quick turnaround, Camille still is like lingering, I would assume, but they haven't like heated that up particularly recently. So
she's not with Mercedes anymore, right?
Or not Camille, Megan Bain. Sorry, wrong. Big lady.
How do you confuse those two?
Well, let's just say since Kaden Carter has left WWE, there is a search for a new underrated talent in the world of women's wrestling. So
I feel like Megan Bain is adequately rated.
Exactly.
I've seen Megan Bain live. It is the entrance, the intensity, like it is a sight.
No spoilers. I'll reveal it on the other podcast, Curveballs and Chair Shots. But I've narrowed it down. There's a slim list of underrated.
We can't get that over here.
No, we'll see. I'm still in the lab.
All right. When will we see Kenny Okada Part 4? Why would you want to see that?
We're definitely it's gonna be at All In. It's gonna be in Texas. We're probably gonna get
This ain't Texas. Ain't no Hold'em.
You gonna go see Cowboy Carter?
What is that?
I don't know. She's probably coming to Levi's soon.
There's a lot of things going on. Mick Foley's going to be in town next week. You going?
Is Noel going to be there?
I met Frank the Clown
Oh,
at WrestleCon.
there you go.
Yeah, so what's going on? What's going on, brother? Yeah, Mick Foley's in town next week. Cobb's Comedy Club. I got the plug. I will be in attendance. Hello.
But yeah, we're probably gonna get Kenny Okada at All In Texas. Hopefully, title for title, but it's probably gonna be a dream match, one time only, non-title.
One time only. It's not a all right. How do you think? This is his last question. Now, how do you think ticket prices will have to go in WWE before fans finally revolt? Like
I
people
mean,
paying $30,000 for this stuff, man. That's crazy.
yeah, and I mean, I think we're seeing people like kind of revolt already. I mean, me personally, like, yeah, I went to Raw last year, but like ticket prices are just too insane. They're way too expensive. Like for me personally to want to go. And like there's probably other people there, especially for like these high-end events like the SummerSlams, WrestleManias and stuff like that and if the product is not hot, which I think maybe it's taken a little bit of a step back since WrestleMania, we might see something. And TKO is a business. They want, and we see this with UFC. They have jacked up the ticket prices immensely. And even for the UFC pay-per-view this weekend, tickets are not going well. So I mean, not to say I told you so, but this did kind of seem like something that was going to happen with TKO taking over WWE.
Yeah, no, I mean we knew what was up. We knew exactly what was up.
Because yeah, we got people like on Twitter showcasing the difference a year makes, and like the same tickets are like 3 times as much.
Yeah, because I remember I went to was this 2022? I went to a Raw at the SAP Center, got the pre-sale tickets. I was like fourth or fifth row on the floor on hard cam side for like 150.
Yeah, I mean, I was at TLC in San Jose, however long ago that was.
Yeah,
Pre-COVID, I was like, literally like by the hard cam and all the production area, so it was like a last minute ticket. I got those for like, yeah, under 150. Like they were really good seats, really good, decent price as well.
Yes, I don't know what's going on, man. We gotta see what's cracking. Um, but they put on big matches to where people want to go, so it is what it is. Let's see what else we have going on with here. SmackDown, Randy Orton's promo. He said he's gonna punt John Cena's head off. Simple.
Yeah, pretty simple. He also kind of said like, oh yeah, John Cena's like a fake phony, hawking even when he was a babyface, hawking all this merchandise to kids and stuff. Well, Randy Orton's been real. He's been true to himself his entire career, even though that would entail, kissing an unconscious Stephanie, kicking people, breaking into other people's houses, and whatever the hell.
Hey, he was mentally ill.
Sorry, yeah, that was a dark time, and
he had what was it? IED, incontrollable explosive disorder.
There you go.
Yeah, you see,
mental health awareness.
You have to watch the product.
Well, once again, that was my and this we'll get to in Backlash. That's why I have zero nostalgia for this Randy Orton Cena feud, because this is when I was not watching.
Said generations. There are a generation of people, of children that are now grown men that are you people talk about your Rock and Austin, brother. Rock and Austin didn't do the dance as many times as these guys did the dance.
Late 2007 to early 2011.
Brother, I mean,
I got nothing.
This was fantastic. I mean, I remember I got to see one of these matches live. It was Hell in the Cell. It was their second Hell in the Cell match, 2014 in Dallas, Texas. I'm like, just sitting in that arena, like the nostalgia I'm feeling then, now, one last time. I mean, we expected this, man. Like, I wish Cope was around. By the way, WWE, they released their trademark for Edge, but then they just filed to get it back. I just saw that.
Damn. I thought we'd get Edge. I thought we'd get Edge in AEW because I do not like Cope.
And then they also renewed their trademark for Tribal Chief. But yeah, man, I wish Edge was around so we can just just all the greatest hits, man, all the greatest feuds. That's what I want to see on this run. But yeah, this is about to feed a generation of 25 to 31-year-olds, my guy. For real. Sorry.
Well, I'm not eating.
I'll get him.
I'm abstaining. First
Bro,
time in my life, I'm abstaining from eating. I'm fasting.
we're gonna feast off of this one. Let's get inside the ring. The WWE Evolve Men's and Women's Championships have been revealed. Yeah, so that's gonna be popping off. Did you see Nikita Lyons? Her the clip's been going around her introduction on Evolve.
Spamming the emote button before her entrance or before her match.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Type shit, type shit. Can't wait to see this. The Good Brothers are coming back to New Japan. They've re-signed.
Yeah, this wasn't really a shock. They're going to be teaming with the Young Bucks
Doot, doot,
to
doot.
to take on the new generation of
The Young
the
Bucks are
Bullet
back in
Club.
Japan.
Oh, they're former IWGP champions.
Well, I mean, they haven't done nothing over there in a minute. I was just,
They were just the champions, like at Wrestle Kingdom. Or was it Wrestle Dynasty they won? I remember.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. That did happen.
Anyways, Good Brothers are back. Who knows what this means for the future? Easy for me to say of the Bullet Club, but yeah, happy anniversary of the Bullet Club. It was like this week, I think. Like what?
Yes, it was like May 3rd. Yeah, that's right.
11 years, 12 years now.
It's gotta be man. Yes, Bullet Club, I know our namesake. Shout out. Raw recap. So a lot happened here. Jey Uso starts off Monday Night Raw, and he's cut off by the former wise man Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman, I mean, just the work that this guy, the work that this guy did was phenomenal. I mean, well, Jay was like, "You got some nerve being in the ring with me after what you did to my family, Oos," and like, "You're gonna lecture me on betraying Roman Reigns?" You know, he just laid in like CM Punk made me choose and this and that, and Roman he could have just accepted it, but no, he felt some type of way. And when I got power bombed in Madison Square Garden, he was nowhere to be around. He didn't come back for me; he came back for the damn Ula Fala. It's just all this great work. Paul Heyman, he said, "I built the bloodline. Roman and I were the champion for 13, 16 for that many days. He and I just what did you think on Paul Heyman's promo?"
Yeah, I thought the Paul Heyman promo was fantastic. I don't know if this was like a reaction to kind of the negative things that happened last week, but I mean, Paul Heyman needs to like kind of be the face or the focal point of this kind of trio right here. And he said things that we saw on the Pat McAfee show, but yet it hadn't come on to WWE canonically on television yet. So that was a good explanation for him, why he did what he did. And his delivery, everything was great. And I'm hoping he stays more like this instead of like the guy in the background with Seth Rollins.
I mean, there'll be times where Rollins will talk because he can, and then we get to he says the first part of the plan was doing what we did. The second part of the plan is Seth Rollins needs to be the world heavyweight champion. So we get to later on in the night. Great match, hell of a match. Jey Uso defending the world heavyweight championship against Seth Rollins. I mean, we saw spears into pedigrees, buckle bombs, superplexes into Falcon Arrow, super kicks, spears, splashes, curb stomps. Sami Zayn comes out there. He gets speared by Braun Breaker. Jey Uso gets speared, gets curb stomped. Punk comes out with a chair, and then it just ends in chaos. What were your thoughts on the match before all the chaos?
Well, when the match was announced, I was like, okay, there's no way they're gonna actually do a finish, especially with them heavily teasing Jay and Logan Paul. But there were points I will say, like there was like, oh, maybe this could be the finish. Like, what was it? Like it was like a splash and a stomp or something. Like there was like a few good near falls. So the match itself I thought was solid. Even though the whole time you kind of smarter fans should have realized something was gonna happen.
Thoughts on the CM Punk of it all?
Yeah, CM Punk came out. It was a little bit of a surprise, especially because Punk was like on a live stream a couple of days prior to that, saying like, "Oh yeah, I still need more time for me to rest." And he comes out, good pop, makes this. I wouldn't say makes the save because he technically costed Jey Uso the match, but sets up a tag team match. It looks like with Punk and Sammy taking on Seth and Breaker. Probably, I would say Seth and Braun wins that match, and then Punk has to get Roman Reigns to team up with him, and that's kind of the big tag team match between the four. Yeah, and I did like in the middle or in the earlier in the show where Paul Heyman was like kind of coaching up Braun Breaker, like just like a little backstage talk him up, and maybe that's kind of gonna be the the dynamic of Seth is kind of like doing his own thing, but really Paul is there for Braun Breaker to kind of help him and guide him in the right direction.
Love to see it. Gunther and McAfee's promo. McAfee actually is in the ring cutting a promo like a wrestler. Gunther says, I'm gonna annihilate you basically. What are your teas, man?
Yeah, just a pretty straightforward promo from both these guys. McAfee, as much as he has his issues on commentary, I think when it comes to like the in-ring stuff and building a match, I think he gets it. And I thought they told a good story of like McAfee kind of like saying like, yeah, look, I kind of know you're gonna like kill me, but I'm gonna go down fighting and I'm gonna stand up for what's right. And I thought that was a good little piece of business.
Fight for your right. Dun dun dun. Wait, I'm sorry. Jesus. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we'll talk about it once we get to the predictions. But let's go on to AEW.
Yep. So another solid episode of AEW Dynamite. Kicked it off with Hangman and Ospreay. They cut a promo. They went back and forth. Hangman originally was talking kind of about why the fans have cheered him and kind of his thing with Swerve, and he doesn't know why he didn't go and like attack or save Swerve in that match. So obviously they're doing something with Hangman and Swerve probably in Texas, and then Ospreay comes out and they just kind of build up that they've never really talked, never really had a match together. So building up a first time ever thing between them. So like I said, it should be a really fun match. And this they're gonna have a tag team match with them against Don Callis family next week. Rhino, they were in Detroit, and Rhino made a not so surprise appearance. Word kind of got out earlier, but he took on Nick Wayne in a fun little ROH television title match. And continuing on that little
feud. When did Nick Wayne win the ROH TV title?
He won it a couple weeks ago. Against, was it Commander? I don't know. He wanted to get some luchador, and I kind of forgot. But
they don't all look alike.
Well, don't tell that to Triple H.
What do you mean? They don't all look alike?
Well, well, they might not all look alike, but they all have to feud with each other, according to Triple H. Anyways, so yeah, that was fine. Christian seems to like not be turning babyface, so that Christian Edge tag team might not be happening. Once again, we got your weekly MJF Hurt Syndicate segment, and MJF beat up Top Flight.
He hurts people.
He beat up Top Flight to show that he hurts people, and it looks like we're going to get another vote next week, and I kind of hope we get like the 3 thumbs up just so we can kind of get past this chapter, this arc of the story, and kind of go on with whatever we're going to do with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate.
What's going on with Anna Jay and Harley Cameron? What the hell is happening?
Well, there's a lot of sexual tension between them.
I saw like she said, "You had my fat ass last week." I was like, wait, what's happening on this show, bro? And then I saw like a Thunder Rosa and them two, and who was it? Penelope Ford.
Yep.
It was like a human. Was it Reby Jackson song Centipede?
Human Centipede?
No. I mean, the Reby Jackson song was Centipede.
Oh.
Centipede. But yeah, I was like, what the hell is happening here?
Yeah, AEW's women's division definitely is much more, forward sexual.
Are they trying to be like Raw in '98? Like, what the hell is happening, brother?
I mean, we kind of. We went from the Divas era to the Evolution era to where now I think the women are kind of like taking back their sexuality and kind of.
I think it all comes back. It all comes back around.
It's all a full circle.
So we'll have like it's 2025. This will happen until like 2020. Let's say 2028. Then we're gonna get back into the the beginning stages, like when NXT was starting in Charlotte and then we're popping off. So 2029 to like 2031 will be that, and then we'll get the evolution from like 2032 up until like 2039. See,
yeah. Then
I just laid it out for you.
There you go. We'll be here to talk about it. But yeah, Samoa Joe and Claudio main event. Samoa Joe choked out Claudio, gets the win.
The ops, right?
To set up the cage title match in next week at Beach Break. So Beach Break, a big show for AEW next week with a bunch of different matches, and headlined by Samoa Joe and not Dean Ambrose, John Moxley for the title. I believe that's like their big
Bro, where's the championship? It's not in that briefcase.
It's still in the briefcase. We have not seen it since November.
It's not in there.
Well, have you picked it up? Do you know the weight of it, the girth of it?
brother. Like I've been in the ring. I've been in the game. I can tell when things look light. That briefcase looks light.
Well, maybe Marina Shafir's is that strong.
No, it looks light, brother. Just like people, they show up to these shows to see the championships. Like, oh wow, that's the world championship. Like what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Anyway, let's get into Backlash. Let's recap this. The former world heavyweight champion, the Ring General Gunther, goes one-on-one with the guy that wants you to shut your mouth, Pat McAfee. What's going on, man? Gunther chokes him out, beats him up after the match, and then Goldberg shows up. What?
Yeah, Goldberg has been heavily linked to Gunther for quite some time, and people are maybe saying that this is going to be where
it's
he
not been
shows up.
heavily. They talked about it for 2 weeks after Bad Blood, and then nobody talked about it again till right now.
Well, I mean, I think even before the angle they did at Bad Blood, people were like, "Oh, maybe Gunther and Goldberg is a thing."
Gunther, the Ring General Gunther. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I got Gunther.
Yeah, I think Gunther should win, and you get a couple hope spots with Pat McAfee, but I think you got to build up Gunther a little bit and kind of get his heat back.
Hello. All right. It is for the Intercontinental Championship. Dirty Dominic Mysterio defends against Penta. I got Dirty Dom retaining this thing.
Yeah, I would probably agree. This one's an interesting match just because, there's nobody else in that ring. Dirty Dom, he's definitely got better in the ring. And Penta's not exactly, the top tier lucha in-ring guy. So I do wonder how this match is going to flow and what it's going to look like. Probably a lot of gimmickry. Probably Finn Balor will get involved. That's kind of the overarching theme of this show of, I think the matches could be good, but I feel like the finishes are going to be bad.
I think Penta could take a clean loss here from Dirty Dom. There'll be some chicanery, but all in all, we'll get a 1-2-3. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a car wreck with this one. Big Oos, the Commander and Oos. Jacob Fatu defends the United States Championship against LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. Who's taking the pin? That's the real question. Jake's walking out with the title, but who's taking the pin?
Yeah, I mean, Fatu gets the win. I think it's between either LA Knight or Damian Priest.
Yeah, I think Priest should take another one.
Yeah, I think, but then I don't know. But then there's 3 baby faces because I think Fatu's a baby face at this point.
No, he is still a heel, but they are cheering him. That's all that he hasn't officially turned. He's still a heel. They're just cheering him because he does cool shit.
Anyways, I'll get Fatu.
No, anyways, that's what it is.
He'll turn face, officially once he beats down Solo.
Yeah. So Big Oos walking out. It's for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra Valkyrie defends against Big Time Bex. I think Bex takes it off of her. I think that'd be the right move, and then we have Becky and Bayley feud over it going into the summer. Just to give the title some umph.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been doing some okay. I think they've been doing some good stuff. On Raw.
Drop it at SummerSlam.
Match should be really good. Once again, I do wonder what the finish is going to be for this. If Becky cheats, or maybe they do. If they're gonna do finishes, I think they do doing roll ups. I think Lyra Valkyrie wins via roll up to continue this.
No, I think Becky walks out the champ, bro.
Well, there you go. We actually differed on a match this one. Put the title on the line. If we had one.
Right. I had that. I remember that. Good times. It is the last time ever. One more time. John Cena, the last real champion, the man who has 17, defends the undisputed WWE title against his arch nemesis, Randy Orton. How funny would it be? See, you don't know the history. There once was a title defense with John Cena and Randy Orton where Orton was the champ. They've been going through it. Randy looked at the ref and just slapped him and got disqualified. How funny would it be if John did that to Randy?
Long-term storytelling. They had this in mind 15, 20, whatever, 17 years ago.
Yes, bro. See, I keep telling you. Yeah, I mean, he wants to ruin wrestling, ruin the finishes of the matches. Hello. But I got John walking out.
I mean, clear as day, Brandon's bet the house finish. John Cena will walk out with the title. Maybe he gets disqualified, but I think John Cena definitely is going to be the champion still. I think this match is just heavily on, remember, on member berries. Philip doesn't know nothing about member berries.
What the freak are those?
The South Park thing.
Yeah, I was not allowed to watch South Park.
Well, this episode's like 5 years ago, so.
Yeah, they're still making new ones. Why?
Well, they are making new ones, but they're in this whole like legal dispute because like they have, like the rights are on Paramount, but then the rights are also on Max, and it's a whole
Bro,
thing.
does The Simpsons still come on?
The Simpsons are still going, and Family Guy.
Family. See, I was a Family Guy kid. The Family Guy. Yeah, I remember that. Oh man, that's gonna do it for us again. Next week, Wednesday, May 14th, Cobb's Comedy Club. The hardcore legend, 40 years of Foley, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mrs. Foley's baby boy, the former world heavyweight champion, the man that got thrown off a 20-foot structure by the Undertaker. I watched his Dark Side of the Ring. Go check it out. Yeah, Mick Foley will be in attendance. Cobb's Comedy Club, Wednesday, May 14th, San Francisco, California. I believe the show is at 7 o'clock. Yeah, you don't want to miss it. Foley does a great show. Thank you guys so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous. Yes, sir.